Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
What was meant to be just another luxury fashion gathering in the breathtaking landscapes of Jiuzhaigou quickly turned into one of the most discussed celebrity moments across Chinese entertainment social media. There was no official announcement of anything unusual, no stage surprise, no dramatic headline. Yet within minutes of the event unfolding, clips began circulating online, and the entire atmosphere shifted. The reason was simple on the surface. Zhao Lusi and Liu appeared at the same Vogue Vacation Jiuzhaigou event. But what happened next was not about the event itself. It was about the way people reacted to it. It was about emotion, perception, and the invisible chemistry that fans felt even through screens. Jiuzhaigou already looks like a cinematic dream. Crystal lakes, mountain mist, and natural light that feels almost unreal. It is the kind of place where every frame looks like a film still. Vogue's luxury concept event used this scenery as its backdrop, but what transformed everything was not the location, it was presence. When Zhao Lusi appeared, the crowd reaction was immediate. Phones lifted, voices rose, attention shifted in a way that cannot be manufactured. She moved through the space with a calm elegance that matched the environment itself. There was no exaggeration in her presence, no attempt to dominate the moment. Instead, there was balance. Viewers later described her appearance as soft yet striking, graceful yet grounded. Online comments focused less on fashion details and more on a feeling that is harder to define: ease. In today's entertainment world, that sense of ease often carries more weight than perfection. Audiences are increasingly sensitive to authenticity, and Zhao Lusi's appearance at the event created exactly that impression. She did not seem separated from the environment, she seemed part of it. That subtle alignment between person and place became one of the first emotional triggers that made the moment spread online. Then the energy shifted again when Liu arrived. His presence carried a different rhythm. Where Zhao Lusi brought softness and fluidity, Liu brought quiet strength. His entrance did not rely on theatrics. Instead, it was controlled, composed, and naturally attention-grabbing. People around him instinctively turned, not because of noise or spectacle, but because of presence. And this is where the narrative began to change online. It was no longer about two separate celebrities attending an event. It became about the way audiences perceived them together within the same space. Fans began capturing every possible interaction, even the smallest ones. A shared direction of gaze, a brief moment of proximity during movement through the venue, a pause in the same visual frame. Individually, these moments were ordinary, but collectively, they created something that fans described as chemistry. Not chemistry in the literal sense, but in the emotional sense that modern audiences use to describe visual harmony between two public figures. It is not something confirmed, it is something felt. As clips spread across platforms, the tone of discussion changed rapidly. What began as fashion coverage turned into emotional interpretation. Viewers were no longer just watching what happened, they were interpreting what it felt like. Words like natural, comfortable, cinematic, and balanced began appearing repeatedly in comments. This repetition is important. It shows that audiences were not reacting to one specific moment, but to an overall atmosphere. The entire event had shifted from being a scheduled appearance into something that felt like a scene from a larger story. Part of this effect came from Jiuzhaigou itself. The location plays a silent but powerful role. It enhances emotion without needing explanation. Every frame carries depth, color, and space. When celebrities move through such an environment, even simple actions feel elevated. Walking, smiling, pausing, or turning becomes visually meaningful, because the background already feels like a narrative setting. This combination of natural scenery and celebrity presence created what viewers later described as a cinematic illusion. Not in the sense of fiction, but in the sense that reality briefly felt staged by beauty alone. As more content spread, fan engagement multiplied. Edited clips appeared within hours. Slow motion sequences highlighted expressions and movements. Background music was added, transforming raw footage into emotional storytelling. Each fan editor interpreted the same event differently, reinforcing the idea that this was not just an event, but an experience being collectively constructed by audiences. The reaction was not limited to core fandoms. Casual viewers also entered the conversation. Many people who do not usually follow entertainment news found themselves watching clips repeatedly. This crossover attention is rare, and it is usually a sign that the content carries strong emotional accessibility. The reason is not complicated. The moment did not rely on controversy or shock value. Instead, it relied on visual harmony, emotional tone, and the human tendency to search for meaning in shared experiences. Another key factor in the viral spread was restraint. Nothing in the footage felt forced. There were no exaggerated performances or overly staged interactions. Instead, everything appeared naturally unfolding. In an era where audiences are highly aware of manufactured content, this sense of natural flow becomes extremely powerful. As discussions continued, a pattern emerged. Different audiences focused on different aspects, yet all converged on the same feeling. Some admired Zhao Lusi's elegance. Some highlighted Liu Yuning's calm presence. Others focused on the scenery. But the most common thread was emotional resonance. This is where the deeper psychology of virality appears. People do not share content only because it is impressive. They share it because it makes them feel something they want others to feel as well. In this case, the feeling was calm excitement, aesthetic appreciation, and a subtle sense of emotional warmth. The event also highlighted how modern celebrity culture is no longer defined only by projects or performances. It is increasingly shaped by moments. Small, unplanned fragments of time that gain meaning through audience interpretation. A glance, a pause, a shared frame, or even a parallel movement can become a talking point when amplified by social media. Zhao Lusi and Liu Yuning are both familiar with this dynamic. Over time, both have built strong individual recognition. But moments like this show how public perception can expand beyond individual identity into collective imagery. Fans are not only watching celebrities, they are watching the emotional space between them. As the initial wave of excitement settled, the conversation did not disappear. Instead, it evolved. People began revisiting clips with a different mindset, noticing new details each time. This extended engagement is one of the clearest signs that a moment has moved beyond trend status and entered cultural memory within its fandom space. What makes this event particularly interesting is its simplicity. There was no scandal, no controversy, no dramatic narrative construction, just presence, environment, and audience interpretation working together. And yet the result was widespread attention across multiple platforms. In many ways, this reflects a shift in how audiences consume entertainment content today. People are no longer only attracted to big headlines. They are equally drawn to emotional texture. The feeling of a moment often matters more than its factual weight. The Vogue Vacation Jiuzhaigou event became memorable not because it changed anything in the entertainment industry, but because it briefly changed how people felt while watching it. That is what gave it longevity online. Not information, but atmosphere. As the discussions continue, one question remains at the center of audience interpretation. Was this simply the result of two popular stars appearing at the same event? Or was there something about the environment, timing, and perception that made everything feel larger than life? The answer, perhaps, is not meant to be fixed. Because in moments like this, meaning is not delivered. It is created by the people watching. And that is exactly why the story continues to live on. If you enjoyed this update from Update X24H, thank you for watching and being part of our community. We always appreciate your support and your time. If you would like more entertainment stories, celebrity updates, and in-depth narrative breakdowns like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your engagement helps us continue creating content that explores not just what happens in entertainment, but why it matters to audiences around the world. Stay tuned for more updates, and we look forward to seeing you in the next story.